Hey everybody, Mr. Bullen here, and I wanted to kind of give you a rundown or a tutorial on how to set up your portfolio for art class. So what you want to do is get on your computer. You do want to log into your school Gmail account, okay, or your school Chrome account. And open up a tab, and what you could do is you could type in sites, sites.google.com, that we've got here, and hit enter. And this should come up. Now, if you've already created a portfolio like these fine art students here have done, then you can find the one that you've previously created here. If you haven't created that one yet, click the plus sign here where it says blank. Okay. And I do have a template that I'll share with you, but if you wanted to start your own, just building basically from this, this is how you do it. All right. So we've got to name our site, and I'm going to say Bullen's Portfolio. With a Mr. Bullen's Portfolio. Perfect. Okay. In here, I'm going to put, you guessed it, Mr. Bullen's Portfolio. Boom. All right. And in this area right in here, this is your home page, or in most cases, it's an about page. So I would add an image in here by coming over to this tab where it says insert and images. Okay, I can upload or select an image here, or I can use some of these pre-selects that are in this area right here. And right here is an image and a box to write with. So I'm going to throw that in there. Boom, look at that. Okay. Also know that all this like background stuff, you can change all this. Okay, you can change the background color in here. You can change this picture simply by hovering your cursor over it. You can change image. I'll just show one real quick. So we're going to select an image. Google gives you a kind of a listing of some. Ooh, what's that? 4 more. Ooh, those are new. I didn't see those before. Let's try that. Well, anyway, those are canned ones, right? So I could search. I could just search. How about I search Google? Art teacher. Let's try that. And here we go. We've got some interesting things. Now we are looking at a this back area here that's covered up is horizontal, right? So we would want a picture probably that's horizontal. Let's just put that one in there just for fun. Boom, there we go. Google automatically changes the picture to make it either brighter or darker to help with reading. Okay, and so if you want to change that, you can do that right here. So there, I took it off, or I can add it. All right, and it will automatically adjust. This is where we can add our picture by adding a plus. And you can upload, or you can select an image that you have. You can go for your Google Drive. I'm going to select an image. I don't have any. This is my office computer. So here's a bunch of photos from earlier. So let's see. There's an old one of me from way back in the day. And I will change that like that. And here I'm going to talk about myself. Hello, I'm Mr. B. And blah, 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 right? I would just continue to write. So you could write a little bit about yourself. Okay. So now we've got our bio page, or your home page, and now we need to add classes. So depending on what class you have, so let's say you have ceramics 1 or 2, sculpture, photo, drawing, painting, right? All the multimedia, or actually now we call it digital painting. So any of those things. So we want to add a page to this home page, and we can come over here to this area where it says pages, and you see this is the I call it the tree. This is our page tree. Okay, so this is the only thing we have right now is our home page. Makes sense? So but I want to add a page, so I can click on that, and I can click new page, and let's just call that I'm going to call it my art class. You might in turn call it sculpture 1 or drawing 1 or digital painting or whatever it might be. Okay, so I'm just doing that because it's a general class. So there's my art class. Here it shows up under my page tree. Shows up with a heading and what I called it here at the top. Now remember, we can go back and we can change the header right here. Okay, so I know that in my art class I probably have a few projects, and in most some have as few as 7, and some have as many as 10 or 12. Okay, so it just depends on what class you're in. All right, so but I would ask you as part of your portfolio to include imagery of your projects. So I would go over here to insert. Okay, and I could insert, again, I can insert an image one at a time. I can insert a text box, but I can also come down here, and here we have all these content blocks that are pre-done. Personally, I like the 3 with a little bit of writing. So it gives me an opportunity to add a picture, project 1, and then I could give a description. Does that make sense? So this would be an image. Maybe it could be related to project 1. Maybe all 3 of these are related to project 1. Okay. Or each one might be individual projects. Project 1, project 2, project 3. Okay. With a little bit of description underneath. I usually don't ask for you to really go into a lot of detail. I just want you to be able to use your portfolio sometime in the future and know what that project was about. Okay, so we have created our home screen. We've added a class. Here's my class, and here's my images that I would put in there. Okay, the other thing you might want to do is maybe you have more than one art class, right? Or maybe you're taking a tech ed class, or you're doing something like that. The ultimate goal for this portfolio isn't to be used as a final for the art classes, although we use it for that. The ultimate goal for this portfolio is for you to be able, when you graduate high school, is to transfer ownership from Bigfoot High School, because they own this, even though it's your email, but it's still owned by Bigfoot High School, over to your personal email, and then you can then send this out via your personal Gmail to prospective employers, college admission boards, anybody who is important, really. You could send this and have this as a link on applications. So, and then you might say, well, what does that matter? Mr. Bull, I'm only taking ceramics. That's the only art class I've ever taken is ceramics. And what does that have to do with me being a grocer or working in a grocery store? And there isn't a whole lot. But what it does do is with showing your ability to work through issues and situations in which you might not have the answer, right? Art is all about being creative and not just being able to draw or paint, but being able to think creativity, right? So if you can think it, that means you can be a problem solver even better. So it's a good talking point to employers and college. All right. A couple things we could do. So here's my class, my art class. I just simply put it in like my pictures and projects all under one. Some people may choose to add more pages, and that's okay. So each one of these projects could be a page if you wanted it. Okay. Let's see real quick. What else could we do? Well, we could go up here to this button and we could see what it would look like there. So that's even, there's nothing in it. But it would show what it would look like as a web page. That's pretty neat. And then when we're done, what I'm going to do is ask you to publish this portfolio. So in class, I'm going to give you an opportunity to get at least to this point and get yourself to have a new page, a page that's going to represent the current class that you're in. Okay. But then I want you to publish it. So I'm going to click publish, and there it's their web address will show up. And I'm going to click publish, and now it's done. Okay. Your site has been published successfully. Would you like to view it? Sure. Okay. So here's my website. Now, right, I haven't finished writing my my bio or what a little bit about me down, but I do have my art class, and I've got places for projects, right? So I'm going to come back here to homepage, and on this right here, see how this says home right there, right? I'm going to select all of this like that. And then I'm going to copy it. So I'm going to use a shortcut button on my keyboard, which is Control and C, right? Or you can just right click and copy. So, and then I'm going to X out. Now I'm going to show you something. See this right here, how it says edit? See that right there? It says edit. I don't want you to give me a URL that has edit. Okay, and I'll explain why. This website where it's set up like this, where we can make the changes. All right, I'm going to ask you to take this published website, the first one that I just X'd out of that says home, not edit, and I'm going to ask you to submit that into Google Classroom. Okay. And then all you have to do is, because we've published it already, is anytime you make a change, we come over here and click the publish button, and it will automatically update the changes. You don't have to keep resubmitting into Google Classroom. Just do the publish each time. Okay. But here's the rub. The rub is the edit version. That's this version right here that we're looking at currently. If you submit that version, that means because of the way that Classroom is set up, Google Classroom, it's not anything I'm doing. It's just the way Google sets it up. You are essentially giving up ownership of your document. So you are giving up the ownership of this, and you're giving it to me. And I don't want it. I don't want it at all. Okay. I want you to keep it. So here's how we do it. Remember I said publish, right? And so we published, and then I copied the URL that was at the top of the published site. And then when I go into Classroom and classes, and I'm going to just do this one, but I don't think I can do anything with. No, I can't. But what I can do is open this up and do that one. Click home. So this would be the way you essentially, this would be what you were submitting to me. Okay. Now it's just the website. It has nothing to do with the edit version. Okay. Just the website only. So, and then when you hit publish, when you make changes and you hit publish, then boom, it makes changes here and I can see that. Okay. That's the important part. That's the part that most people or a lot of people will get confused on, is they'll hand me this one and then I have to give it back. Okay. And I have to give it back and then make you resubmit it the proper way. And it just takes a while. Okay. So at the beginning, if we just do this to begin with, it's going to save a whole lot of heartache. Because other teachers also use this portfolio that we make in here for their class. And sometimes students come up to me and they're like, hey, Mr. Boland, I can't get to the edit part. It won't let me. And so then I look it up and sure enough, it's this, and then they're stuck. So I have to give it back to them, and I'd have to give it back to them via the share part where, see, I would change the ownership over to another person. Okay. So that's pretty much it, and probably longer than expected, but that is creating a portfolio. The biggest thing is you can just keep adding. So if you have ceramics 1, if you had drawing 2, if you had whatever, you could just keep adding classes, and all of your information is right here for future. And that's the beauty of this portfolio. Okay. Always, as always, you can always get in touch with me, and if you have questions, but this should help you. I hope. Okay. Let me know. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.